Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Legendary Leaders. We are sitting here at the end of December, the end of 2020. We have made it. We have survived it. We have pushed through. We've learned a ton of things. Maybe we have started our business. Maybe we have grown our business. Maybe we pivoted within our business, right? Maybe we figured out a way to balance our corporate life and our personal business and our family life, right? We've done a lot of things. We've had to figure out a lot of things this year. How do we work remotely and what does that look like? How do we take care of our families or our friends or our loved ones? How do we keep each other safe, but still feel like we can get out and live in the world? There's so many things that we had to solve for that, quite frankly, I never thought we would have to solve for. And I'm sure that you feel the same way. But this is the day, this is the time of year that I want you to self-reflect a little bit. Because what I want you to do is I want you to be gearing up. I want you to get ready for 2021. And I know that you are ready for that. I know that whenever we hit the end of the year and the beginning of the next year, it is the time that we look at resetting ourselves, right? It's the time that we recalibrate and say, okay, well, I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm going to go do this instead, or I'm going to focus on growing in these areas. And it's just that natural time of the year that we recalibrate. Now, I will tell you as an aside, you don't have to ever wait until the end of December, beginning of January to recalibrate. You need to do that anytime you feel as though you need to, okay? You should quarterly assess what you're doing and what you're accomplishing and how well you're doing and how you're feeling, and recalibrate quarterly would be my challenge. But minimally, I know that everyone sits down at this time of the year and we do some reassessment, some overall calibration of how we're feeling and what we've done. And then we figure out where we want to go for the next year. Now, I'd already challenged you to sit down and do your vision work for your business, right? To either think about what the movie would be like and how you make it great, or to sit down and dream and just allow yourself to dream about all the possibilities of the things that you would love to wake up and do each day. And when your business is successful, what does that success look like? How do you define that success, right? We did that before Christmas. And so now what I want you to do is I want you to take all of that vision work. I want you to take all of the things that you know you want to accomplish in 2021. But before you jump in, okay, I want you to look at all the things that you've accomplished this year. And I'm telling you right now, I know there's some grumbling that's already happening. And you're saying, Katrina, I just survived. I just made it through. I just did the best that I could. And I'm going to tell you that none of those statements are I just. Okay? You just got to clarify that right now. None of those statements are I just statements. So don't put them in that context. Yes, you survived. Yes, you made it through. Yes, you figured some things out. All of those things are achievements. And so if you've been listening to all the other podcast episodes, you know that the way that I keep up with my achievements is I keep a journal. I keep a handwritten journal that I write down different pieces of information in, right? Ideas or take notes in different seminars, whatever, right? And so that's the way that I keep up with my thoughts. Well, in the back of every journal that I go through in a year, I have a page in the very back, and that's where I write my accomplishments, okay? And I've challenged you to do the same thing. If you haven't been doing that, I want you to make that a new goal for yourself in 2021, okay? And so what I do is I get my journal, very last page, and anytime I hit a milestone, anytime I do something that I consider an achievement, I write it down. And now here's the deal. Achievements are achievements. I remember writing down in the back of my journal whenever I had 100 subscribers to my email list. I'd given out a lead magnet and I had 100 women come and say, hey, I want that lead magnet. That tool will help me. And so they got that and they got in the email list. You know how that works. And I remember writing that down because that was huge, right? And so no matter how many people you get on your email list, if it's 100, if it's 1,000, 10,000, 100,000, it won't matter because you're going to have in your journal, when you got those first 100 subscribers, right, followers, part of your tribe, and you're going to remember how amazing that felt. And so don't look at it and say, well, it was only 100, because some people have 0, okay? Maybe it's 20. Still better than 0. 20 means that you've tried. 100 means that you've tried. It doesn't matter the actual number. The point is that it's a celebration. It's an achievement. And so I write those things down in the back of my journal because when I feel like it's an achievement, I write it down. I don't let myself judge, or I don't let myself think, oh, well, a month from now, that's probably not going to be a big deal. So I'm just going to wait and celebrate it in a month from now when it's even bigger. No, celebrate it now. It's huge. That's a big deal. And so what I'm challenging you to do today, which is what I'm going to do, is I'm going to get all of my journals for the year. I'm going to open them up to the achievement pages, and I'm going to remember and relive and celebrate all of the things that I called out as achievements throughout my year. All of the things that have come together to make Legend what Legend is this year. All the things that have come together to make Determined what Determined is this year, right? All of those milestones that I wrote down for my business, I'm going to reflect back on that and I'm going to celebrate it, right? I have to. Because if I've got these big, lofty goals for 2021, and I do, and so do you should, okay? If we've got these big goals, then we need to have some momentum going into 2021. We can't just say, flip the switch, we're going to be amazing. You already are amazing. But we've got to get some momentum, right? We've got to be able to start running a little faster. And it's hard to start cold. We need to give ourselves some wins. And so the way that I'm asking you to give yourself some wins is go get your journals, look at your achievement pages, celebrate all of the achievements that you accomplished this year, and then give yourself that momentum to go ahead and jumpstart 2021. Now, here's the deal. I know that some of you haven't done that. Some of you didn't know to do an achievement page, or, you've just started listening to me recently, and that's okay. So what I want you to do instead is I want you to sit down and I want you to think about, okay, in January of 2020, what was I doing? What were you doing? What were you working on? What were you thinking about? What conversations were you having? What were you trying to push yourself to achieve or do? Okay, in February, same thing. March, April. I want you to go through every month. I want you to remember what was happening during that time in your life, what you were thinking about mentally and what you were feeling emotionally. Maybe you were trying to push yourself to start your own business. You weren't there yet, but you were getting the courage to acknowledge the fact that you want to start your own business. And that's huge. The day that you decide to start your own business and let yourself go be who you're supposed to be, that's a milestone. You need to write it down. So if you didn't write down your accomplishments, collect them. Spend some time today. I want you to spend about an hour. I know an hour is a long time if you're committed to other things. But my challenge to you is to spend an hour reflecting on the year, reflecting on all the things that you've accomplished, all the tools that you put together. Maybe you figured out who your audience is, or the product or the service that you want to sell. Maybe you have, taken that lock. And I always talk about the lock. And it's a combination lock. And we got to get the combination lined up just right. So when we unlock it and it opens up, that's when we figured out our business. The lock is our business. And we've got to line up the numbers in the right order to hit the combination. And it's what's our niche and what's our product idea and who's our audience. And, how am I going to connect with them? And how am I going to make sure that people understand what I stand for, right? We line up all of these different things, and it's the numbers and the combination of the lock. And when we get them just right, the lock pops open and we're ready to go. And so what are the things that you accomplished this year? Maybe your lock hasn't popped open yet, and that's going to happen for you in 2021. But you've been dialing up the numbers and you've hit some of them and you have figured out some of them so far. Even if it's just a simple fact that you wanted to take and purchase the lock, which means, in other words, you wanted to start your business. No accomplishment is too small. Today is the day that you reflect back and look at all the things that you've done, all the decisions that you've made, the conversations that you've had, the commitment that you made to yourself, the commitment that you've made to serving the people that you're going to solve the problem for. Whatever your service or product solves, you've committed to them. All of those are accomplishments. At Legend Leaders, I will tell you, we don't judge the size of an accomplishment. I'm not going to let you do that. If it was something that you celebrated, if it's something that you were proud of, something that you were finally like, oh, thank God, finally, that's an accomplishment. And today you're going to spend time either reflecting back on them or you're going to compile them and then reflect back on them. But I want you to end the day feeling gratitude. I want you to end the day feeling grateful and proud. I'm proud of all that you've accomplished. It doesn't matter the size of the accomplishment. It simply matters that you accomplished it. And so today is a day of gratitude and celebration and appreciating yourself for all the things that you accomplished and overcame in 2020. Okay? Because when we hit 2021, you need to start moving fast. You've got to start delivering on that vision. And so this today is the momentum. You're creating momentum and excitement within yourself to move you forward. So please don't skip this exercise. Do not skip this time that's going to build you and make you stronger. You have to become the woman that's going to create and run $1 million plus business. That doesn't happen overnight. It happens by putting one step in front of the other every single day. And today, all you're doing is looking back and reflecting on the steps that you've taken every day. And that deserves some time and some reflection and some celebration. All right? So that is your challenge for the day. Reflect back on the year. Celebrate yourself. No accomplishment is too small. Build the momentum so that you can carry forward all of that excitement and celebration and confidence to move you into the next year and getting you to start taking action. Okay? All right. Go do it. I'm challenging you. You can do this. Go and be legendary.